Shalom, shalom, family. This is BOW Bay Area, and I got my brother here, kind of Yak, from the main headquarters. Man, you can say shalom, King.
Shalom, shalom, Akim,
Khan, all praises to the Most High. Yeah. So today, family, we're gonna be talking about self love and reflection. We're gonna kind of go into other topics like the balance of life and stuff like that. Um, but I kind of just wanted to make this lesson because it's been in my spirit to really just talk about life being in this truth and kind of like the struggles that we have, man, as Israelites, man. So I kind of just wanted to harken on the self-love part, and just reflecting on our own lives, right? See if we're good with the Most High, see if we're following the ways of the Bible and such, right? And kind of just the balance of everything, because as we all know, this world is not perfect. So we're gonna get the why, and we're gonna get the solution, right? Kanyak, if you could, can you go to Ecclesiastes 1 and 18, Baba Kashai?
yeah, Khan.
Bring it out when you got it out.
Yeah. This is the book of Ecclesiastes 1 and verse 18. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow.
So right here, this is when I read this verse, right? When I first read this verse a couple years back, it kind of hit me like, damn, like, you know, me actually learning things in this walk could actually at the same time make me have like a heavy load on me, man. Right? Because I was just telling kind of Yak, man. We all know the saying, ignorance is bliss. So when we're in the world, man, we living in la la land, man. We're living in, butterflies and daisies, right? But in this truth, we get to learn the hard truth of this world. We get to understand, man, this world is wicked, man. Man, Esau's the damn devil. Man, we got to get right with ourselves too. And it's kind of just like one of those things where when you read this Bible, and a lot of people get this mistaken, this Bible isn't like for like when you read this Bible, Slakia, it's not always going to tell you the good things that you want to hear, right?
Khan.
It's not. It said right here, and he that increaseth knowledge, he that studies in this Bible will also increaseth sorrow. And this is from the guy that was once the most smartest person in the whole world. This was King Solomon. So the wisest person in the world said that. Why do you think that? Because he understood the good and the evil, right? Let's get more though, right? Let's get Deuteronomy 28, because we all know that's talking about the curses of the blessings and the cursings of Israel, right? Um, but let's kind of go into why you know us as blacks and Hispanics are going through the things that we're going through. Let's first get verse 15, Baba Kasha.
Khan. So Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day,
Mm-hmm.
that
Con, you had cut out King. Can you read that one more time, Baba Kasha?
Khan. Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee, and
Okay. So all these curses shall fall upon us if we don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments, family. It's simple, right? And I'm gonna get one of the curses, right? That is being told in this chapter. Let's go down to verse 65 and 66, Baba Kasha.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 65. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease,
Mhm.
neither shall the sole of thy feet have rest, but the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of the eyes, and sorrow of mind,
And sorrow of what?
and sorrow of mind.
Right here is literally right here. Is a curse that we're gonna go through as Israelites, man. We're gonna go through sorrow of mind. Not everything's gonna be butterflies and rainbows, family. Us being in Babylon right here, it says, and among these nations, right? Because we're under the other nations rulership as at this moment, you know, we're gonna go through sorrow of mind, family. Let's understand that, right? And you can read verse 66, Baba Gasha.
Verse 66. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night,
Mhm.
shalt have none assurance of thy life.
And none, and it's like it, and shall have none assurance of thy life. We're not gonna know if we're gonna see the next day, right? We're not gonna know, family. You know, because us going against the Most High God's laws, statutes, and commandments, He's not gonna have us um go experience what it's like to have rulership and whatnot, right? We're gonna be the bottom of the totem pole. The other nations are gonna be the head, and we're gonna be the tail. So that's pretty much what it's talking about right here. But I wanted to emphasize on that sorrow of mine right there. That's really important. And unfortunately, that's just what we have to go through at this time, man. But you know, of course, you know, we're gonna get into it, but of course, you know, there's hope. Let's go to Leviticus 19, right? Let's get this classic right here. Let's go to Leviticus 19 and read verses 17 and 18, Baba Kasha.
So Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him. Verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
Mhm.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
Right. And we all know this scripture, man. We learned it, you know, back in Sunday school when we was going to church, right? But this is really important, right? Because, you know, trying to stay on the topic, right? If you don't love your neighbors, you most likely don't love yourself, right? And why do you think I said that, family? The reason why I said that is because how can you love someone? How can you love someone if you don't even love yourself in the first place, man? Because you're the first person that you should love first, right? It should be like that, right? And then you can be able to love others, right?
Gone.
But you know, at times it's real hard and it's easier said than done, right? It's super easier said than done. So, family, the reason why I brought this out, of course, is talking about, hey, we should love our neighbors because it's a law, right? But start learning how to love ourselves, family. Like we got to start learning how to love ourselves, right? And we're gonna get into how we can love ourselves, right? Um, but yeah, let's continue. Let's go to Joshua 23. Right, let's go to Joshua 23 and let's get verse 11. Baba Kasha.
This is Joshua chapter 23 and verse 11. Take good heed, therefore, unto yourselves, that ye love the Lord your God.
You know, this is, you know, real self-explanatory. Take heed, therefore, unto yourself. So, like how I was just saying, you know, prior to this verse, check yourselves, family. Take heed, therefore, unto yourselves that ye love the Lord your God. Right?
Gone.
Don't try to prove your love through other people, right? Prove your love with your own, like with your own case, man. You know, and that's what Joshua is trying to say. Pay attention to yourself, family. Prove yourself, right? Um, and yeah, let's move on. Let's go to Second Corinthians. Let's go to Second Corinthians chapter 10. And we're going to read verses 4 through 6. Right. Let's get there, man. Come on.
2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. Verse 6. And having a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled.
Right. And the reason why I brought this out, there's a couple points that I want to hearken to. It reads, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds." Right. And our battles don't start with everyone else. I'm gonna keep saying this. It starts with us. This love that we have for ourselves, it starts with us. How we love God, it starts with us, right? And we got to prove ourselves, man. And of course, it says right here, and through Christ, like we can pretty much overcome these strongholds and get where we need to be, right? But we got to focus on ourselves, family, right? Because what it said, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, meaning it's not physical. It starts here in your head, family. It starts here in your heart, right? It starts here in your mind. The heart and the mind mean the same thing.
I got a precept on that too.
Come on, you can bring it out.
This is Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Exactly. That's a beautiful precept. Our battle is not, with Joe Schmo. Our battle is with the spirits that attack us when the Most High wants to test us, family. Right. So let's get to understanding that, family. Right. Like I said, man, it's not all butterflies and rainbows in Babylon. Right. Let's move on though. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 30. The book of Ecclesiasticus. Let's get it right now. Ecclesiasticus chapter 30, and we're gonna read verses 21 through 25.
God. Sirach chapter 30 and verse 21. Give not over thy mind to heaviness, and afflict not thyself in thine own counsel.
Mhm.
The gladness of the heart is the life of man, and the joyfulness of a man prolongeth his days. Love thine own soul, and comfort thy heart. Remove sorrow far from thee, for sorrow hath killed many, and there is no profit therein. Envy and wrath shorten the life, and carefulness bringeth age before the time. And a cheerful and good heart will have a care of his meat and diet.
Right. So I wanted to bring this out, and this is a beautiful precept because it's just kind of trying to give you the wisdom of everything. Kind of go, full circle. Right. It said right here, give not over thy mind to heaviness, and afflict not thyself in thy own counsel. Don't beat yourself up for every little thing, man. Don't beat yourself up because you what's an example?
You accidentally ate pork, or
That's beautiful. You accidentally ate pork, right? Don't give yourself to heaviness, family, because hey, we make mistakes sometimes, man. And sometimes we don't check the labels, right? Sometimes we don't. Right? But don't beat yourself up too much. Don't be like, I deserve to die. I deserve to die. Come on, family. We could get back from that, man. And ask for forgiveness. And that's the beautiful thing about Yahweh Shai, man, which the world knows as Jesus Christ. Yahweh Shai is, giving us grace during this time. So if we accidentally eat pork, family, hey, we can get back up. Even though we sin, we can come back from that, family. Right? And it said right here, the gladness of the heart is the life of man. Hey, like be happy, family. Like I know I said, not everything's all butterflies and rainbows, but hey, if there's good, there has to be bad too, and vice versa. So, you know, enjoy yourself a little bit, family. Like, even though we're learning about this stuff around the world and whatnot, we're learning about the truth of the Bible. Don't overbear yourself with the harsh reality of things. There's other things that the Most High had made which makes us happy. For example, brotherhood. I love this brother Kanayak, man. Every single time I see him on feast days, it's always a good time because I love being with my brothers, right? And there's much more examples that we can use, right? But brotherhood, for example, it's such a beautiful thing. It said, love thine own soul, right? And cover thy heart, man. Cover yourself, man. Love yourself, right?
Con.
For sorrow have killeth many. And that's deep. Because of course that can talk about like, hey, brothers are, you know, they could go into a depression and maybe become suicidal. But it can also go into, hey man, you learn the reality of this truth, and then you become a bug out. And then as soon as you become a bug out, of course, the Most High, you know, how's the saying go? He takes out your candle.
Yeah, he blows out your
He
candle.
blows out your candle, right? So that's the thing, family. Even though this right here, this Bible, there's a lot of harsh realities. Don't let it get to you, because even though there's things that are so-called bad in this book, there's also things that are, of course, good, right? So there's a balance, family. There's a balance. Let's go to Matthew 25. Matthew 25, or Salakia 26 and verse 41.
It's Matthew chapter 26 and verse 41. Enter
You
not
good?
into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Yeah, you are good. You are cut out. I'm gonna just read it real fast. It's watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. Right? You're all good, Kanayak. But pretty much, we gotta watch ourselves. We gotta watch ourselves and pray. And that's one thing I'm not gonna lie, family. I need to get better with my prayers. Because honestly, and I'm gonna be completely honest, I'm gonna be vulnerable with my family. I was a stronger prayer when I was in Christianity than in this truth. Like, I'm being vulnerable. Like, I don't pray as much, right? And that could be a really bad thing, family. So, one thing it says right here, that ye enter not into temptation. Hey man, because those tempting thoughts can get to you. The spirit indeed is willing, meaning you don't want to do, hey, your body, your spirit says no to whatever you're dealing with, but the flesh is weak. But you know what I'm saying? You want to do what you want to do. Hey, like, hey man, I know I shouldn't be drinking as much, but hey man, like I'm just trying to have a good time, man. And sometimes that could be real bad for us, family. Like it could be it's a double-edged sword.
Con.
So that's where I'm trying to get at, family. I had put a little note, and I kind of want to read it out. It says, sometimes we let the flesh get to us, man. Our spirit is telling us, get right, be happy, and believe in yourself, but our flesh just loves to be slothful, sad, and miserable. So pray and ask for guidance. We gotta pray and ask for guidance, family. Always, always, always. Let's continue though. Let's go back to the book of Sirach. Chapter 32. Chapter 32, and let's get verses 23 and 24, Baba Kishah.
Con. So Sirach chapter 32 and verse 23. In every good work, trust thine own soul, for this is the keeping of the commandments.
Mm.
He that believeth in the Lord taketh heed to the commandment, and he that trusteth in him shall fare never the worse.
Beautiful, 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 right? Because when we enter in this truth, the Holy Spirit gets into us, right? So that's what it's saying. Trust the trust the spirit that's inside of you, family. Trust the Holy Spirit that lives inside of us, right? And how do we do so? We keep the commandments, family. We hearken unto these commandments. We get right with the Most High God, because that's how we get right with the Most High God, right? So keeping the commandments will set us high, family. And that's how we can actually show our love to not only ourselves, but to the creator, right? So yeah, let's continue. Let's go to First Timothy, and I want to get chapter 4, verses 11 through 16. Baba Kashan.
This is 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 11. These things command and teach. Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word, in conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, in purity.
Mm.
Till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy, with the laying of the hands on of the presbytery. Meditate upon these things, give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all.
Right.
Verse 15. Take heed unto thyself and unto doctrine, continue in them, for in doing this thou shalt save both thyself and them that hear thee.
Man, that last part was powerful, right?
God.
That last part was powerful. It said, take heed unto thyself, like how we've been reading, right? And unto the doctrine. What is the doctrine? The law, statutes, and commandments, right? And the gospel talking about Yahweh Shai, and continuing them. Because that will give us the answer, family. Those two things will answer the why that we always ask ourselves. For in doing this, thou shalt both save thyself, right? And them that hear thee, the people that are around you, right? Because if we keep the doctrine, we're gonna keep that Leviticus 19, love thy neighbor as yourself. So
God.
the people around you are gonna understand, oh yeah, loving myself is keeping the commandments. Loving myself is, keeping the commandments so we can please our Heavenly Father. This is how you do it. And it said before too, it said, till I come, give attendance to reading. So how do we get to learn the commandments of the Most High God? We got to first pick up this book, family. It's not that hard, right? It's not that hard. But like we said, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak.
God.
So, family, and this is a message for myself too. Don't think I'm holier than thou. Like, don't think that I be reading 3 hours a day and whatnot. No, I mean, it's another thing too, is like being in this truth. Well, I'll say this, knowing about the truth for 4 years now, I've like learned a lot of things. And even before the truth, I was really into Christianity. So really studying the Bible for 6 years, I was 14 when I first started studying the Bible. Now I'm about to be 20. Um, you know, you start to like kind of drop the book, right? Like as of lately, like I don't read every day. Like I read like verses. I always, keep myself in the spirit and do the things I'm supposed to do. But as far as attending to reading, I need to get better with that, family, because at the end of the day, what it say? What it say right here? Continue with them, for in doing this, thou shalt both save yourself and save them that hear thee. So, you know, the reason why I'm saying this, family, is like you're not alone. If you're going through whatever I'm going through at this moment, hey, you know what I'm saying? We can work on this together, family. That's why, there's such things as camps, there's such things as brotherhood. So we can get each other right. Um, and another thing too, it's hard to do this truth by ourselves, family. Man, it's damn near impossible, right? So I just wanted to harken on that. Let's go to Colossians though. Let's go to Colossians chapter 3. Um, and let's read verses 15 through 17, Baba Kashai.
Said Colossians.
Yeah, Paul.
So the book of Colossians, chapter 3, and verse 15. And let the peace of God rule in your hearts, to the which also ye are called in one body, and be ye thankful. Verse 16. Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly, in all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing with grace in your hearts to the Lord.
Read.
Verse 17. And whatsoever you do, in word or deed, do all in the name of Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God and the Father by him.
Come. So this word is going to give you peace, right? It's a balance. It's a balance because we just read in Solomon's writings that wisdom and knowledge and understanding is going to bring you sorrow, but who's going to bring you peace in this? Who's going to bring you peace in this, family? Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is going to bring you peace because Yahweh Shai is our hope.
God.
He's our hope, family. The prophecies might be scary, but Yahweh Shai is also there too, and he's going to give us redemption. He's going to let that happen. Keep your mind in this word, family. I had put it in a note right here. It said, in this word, then you'll gain the wisdom you'll need to conquer whatever you're going through. Right. This word is gonna help us out, family. It's the only thing that's gonna keep us, going strong. Right. And even another thing too, I like this too. It said right here, teaching and admonishing one another in psalms and in hymns and spiritual songs, singing with grace in your hearts to the Lord. Another thing that kind of therapeutic. I do this occasionally. Don't call me no artist. Don't call me none of this and none of that. But I do occasionally write songs and whatnot. Right. It's talking about what I'm going through in this walk, and whatnot. Right. But that can also, help us get closer to Yahweh Shai, help us get in this word, all the above. Right.
God.
So that's why I say this is a beautiful thing. Right. Let's go to the prophets though. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 28 or 26. So I can Isaiah chapter 26, and we're gonna read from 1 through 4, Baba Kashai.
This is Isaiah chapter 26 and verse 1. In that day shall this song be sung in the land of Judah. We have a strong city. Salvation will God appoint for walls and and bulwarks. Open ye the gates, that the righteous nation which keepeth the truth may enter in. Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusted in thee. Trust ye in the Lord forever, for in the Lord Jehovah is everlasting strength.
Right. And This is powerful because this is talking about like what we're going to see in the kingdom, right?
Con.
But you know, it's this is the thing. This is the thing, family. The only way we get to see the love of the kingdom, our reward, is if we give the love to Yahweh, which he deserves, man. And that's why, this self love is super important because how do we love the Most High? We have to love ourselves. And how do we love ourselves? By keeping the word. It's full circle. So this is a beautiful thing, man. This is one of the verses which gives us hope because it's talking about the kingdom. It says, "For in the Lord Jehovah, which is Yahweh, is everlasting strength." And that's what we're lacking as a nation as of right now. We could be physically strong, but are we spiritually strong though? Not right now. We're probably not going to see it until he comes back. So right here, and it also said, "Trust ye in the Lord forever." We gotta trust in the Most High. We can't trust ourselves, right? We gotta trust in the Most High because we can't do nothing on our own. It's not we didn't write the book of life. We didn't write this play that we call life, right? I know there's a song I listen to, and it's a J. Cole song, and he said, "The world's a stage, and I just play my part," right? We just playing our part in this thing, family. And like the only way that we could, act like I said, I'm just repeating myself. The only way, you know, we're gonna see this thing is at the end of the day, if the Most High allows it to happen for us, because um he controls all things. That's a kind of another topic though, but I kind of want to harken on that. Let's go back to Psalm and let's go back to Proverbs 19. Proverbs chapter 19, and we're gonna read verses 16. Right here. Okay. You on mute, Kanayak? Hold up. Brother might be buffering. Yeah, he's buffering. Kanayak, can you hear me? Hold on just a sec, family. Kanayak. He's not on mute. Yeah. Hold on just a sec. Yeah, we can't hear you, family. I don't know what's going on your end. Can you hear? Can you put it in the chat if you can hear me out? Salakia, family.
Hey, can you hear me out?
Yeah, I can hear
Shalom.
you now. I can hear you.
Oh,
Shalom.
yeah, all praise to the Most High, man.
All praises, man. You all good? Let's get right into it. You said what up?
I don't know what happened. It just like kind of like started buffering sound,
Yeah, no, you all good. What was the precept I wanted? Oh yeah, Proverbs. Proverbs 19 and verse 16.
Con. It says Proverbs chapter 19 and verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
He that keepeth the commandment keepeth his own soul, but he that despiseth his ways shall die.
It's pretty self-explanatory. Keeping the law at the end of the day, man, it's gonna help you out, man, because you know, he that despises his own soul, right? He that hates himself, which at the end of the day, if you hate yourself, you hate Yahweh because he created you, right? Shall die. So
Con.
keep the laws, family. That's pretty self-explanatory. Let's go to Romans chapter 8. Let's go to Romans 8 and let's read verses 6 through 8, Baba Kasha.
This is Romans chapter 8 and verse 6. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
Mm.
Because the carnal mind is enmity against God, for it is not subject to the law of God, neither indeed can be. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please God.
Right. In other words, keeping the law will make you spiritual. You know, it will make you spiritual. And at the end, that will give you life and peace, right? Because we've been talking about, the carnal ain't gonna help you, in the long run. The carnal, hey, it may make you feel good, right? But it's not gonna give you life. Right. That's pretty simple. It's pretty self-explanatory. Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 145. Chapter 145 and verse 20.
Psalms chapter 145 and verse 20. The Lord preserveth all them that love him, but all the wicked will he destroy.
Right.
Let me reverse.
No, you're all good. Yeah, that's fine. It's like I said, it's pretty self-explanatory. He'll preserve you if you love him. But like how we've been saying, how do you love him? You love yourself. So that's why, we gotta love ourselves, family. Even in this truth, I know it's hard. I know the Most High may give us trials and tribulations, but all the prophets in the Bible went through trials and tribulations, right? So, we just going through what we got to go through to prove ourselves to the Most High, right?
God.
And the wicked, of course, he's going to destroy, but that's their purpose, man. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 24 and verse 16.
This is Proverbs chapter 24 and verse 16. For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief.
Yeah, family. A just man, for example, he didn't necessarily fall, 7 times, because 7 is just a number of completion. And in this case, King David, he fell, right?
God.
But he rose back up. And in the eyes of the Lord, he was perfect. But the wicked, they're gonna fall and keep sinking and keep drowning. And we don't want to be like that, man. And that goes for everybody. Some of us, sometimes we have the moments, man. Sometimes, we go through things in life that put us down. It could be financial things, it could be relationship things, it can just be your own self. But we can always get back up, man. But we gotta take heed unto the Most High, unto this word, right? And reflect on ourselves as well. Let's continue though. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 3. Right, and we're gonna read verses 16 through 17.
Chapter 3 and verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple and that the Spirit, know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy, for the temple of God is holy, which temple ye are.
Right. That's why we gotta love ourselves, man. Paul clearly says we are the temple of God. The Holy Spirit dwells in us. What does that mean though? what does that mean that we're the temple of God, though? Kanye, what would you say that means, man?
It means we are a representation of the Most High.
Mm,
Everything we do and everything we move and every word we utter, it has to be some kind of representation of the Most High,
mm.
held to a higher regard than the other nations.
Beautiful answer, right? Beautiful. And you know, to stay in topic, that and I like that answer, man. We're a representation. How can we be a good representation if we don't love ourselves, man?
Con,
How can we be a good representation if we don't take accountability of our actions? You know? So that's a thing, man. Like, we are the temple of the Most High, man. That's a privilege.
con,
That's a privilege, but also at the same time, it could be a curse if you make it a curse, right? That's the
con.
balance of the Most High. Let's go to Sirach chapter 10. Man, I love the book of Sirach, man. All my lessons gotta have at least one book in Ecclesiasticus. Let's go to chapter 10 though. From verses 28 to 31, Baba Kashar.
To Sirach, chapter 10 and verse 28. My son, glorify thy soul in meekness, and give it honor according to the dignity thereof, who will justify him that sinneth against his own soul, and who will honor him that dishonoreth his own life. The poor man is honored for his skill, and the rich man is honored for his riches.
Mm.
He that is honored in poverty, how much more in riches? And he that is dishonorable in riches, how much more in poverty?
Man, that's a bar, man. When I first read this, when I was first making this lesson, I was shocked. I was like, nah. Like I was like kind of just going crazy, not crazy, but I was just like, damn, like that's cold, right? I literally put in my note bars, right? And
God,
I said, if you're honorable to yourself, it'll show. And if you're dishonorable to yourself, it'll show. No matter what. No matter if you're rich, no matter if you're poor. Right. We gotta know our worth, family. We gotta know our worth, man. It said, the poor man is honored for his skill, and the rich man is honored for his riches. He that is honored in poverty, right? So he that is honored, even if he's in poverty, how much more in riches, right? Is
God,
he still gonna lose the same respect even if he's rich? Or is he gonna gain more respect even if he's rich? That's what I'm trying to say. Not exactly, because everyone respects him. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, and it said right here, he that is dishonorable in riches. So someone that's dishonorable but rich, how much more in poverty? Man, that dude, he's always gonna be dishonorable no matter what. So, man, we just gotta know our self-worth, family. Right? It said, my son, glorify thy soul in meekness. We got to be happy and give it honor according to the dignity, right? A dignity is worth according to our worth. So that's why I'm talking about self-worth, family. Um, let's go a couple chapters after. Let's go to Sirach 37, Baba Kishah.
God.
And let's get verse 19.
To Sirach, chapter 37 and verse 19. There is one that is wise and teacheth many, and yet is unprofitable to himself.
Mm, right. This kind of hits home, right? Because I'm not gonna lie, there's been times where I've told people advice, but I'm not taking it myself. I feel like we all have, like, just being human, we all have been accounted for being a so-called hypocrite, right? Maybe maybe I shouldn't speak for everybody, I mean, but I feel like we all been guilty of being hypocrites, right? But I have put a note right here. It says, self love isn't teaching others and not applying it to yourself. Self love is using the advice we give to people so that we can grow together. You know, that's pretty much what I'm trying to say, right? It says right here, there is one that is wise and teacheth many, and yet is unprofitable to himself. There's a lot of people, that give good advice, right? A lot of people. But are they gonna make it to the kingdom? Probably not. I know a lot of people that give great advice, man. But does he show his love to the Most High? And does the Most High even love him back? Nah. So we gotta be that person that gives good advice and applies it to our life, man. We gotta be that example. I can't just be telling people, hey, don't eat pork because it's bad for you. But later on, I'm eating freaking, you know, um, ham and eggs. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So that verse kind of like hits home for me too because I've seen that in myself as well. I've told people advice that I don't even take. So that kind of like kind of hits home.
Yeah.
Let's go to 2 Corinthians 13 and 5. Babakasha. And hopefully y'all are following along, family. Hopefully y'all getting edified, man. This lesson is kind of like a therapy lesson, kind of like a self-reflection. Um, so I
So,
just hope that you're listening and not just hearing it. Um, so yeah.
so 2 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 5. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith.
Mm.
Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves how that Yahushua and Mashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates.
And like I've been saying, like how I've been emphasizing this whole time, family, we gotta check ourselves. We gotta check ourselves. Do we love the Most High? Hey, how do I prove that I love the Most High? How can I show I love the Most High? And how can I improve my love to the Most High? We got to check ourselves. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Do I even believe? Do I even believe that Yahweh Shai is going to come and save his children? Or am I hearkening too much on Babylon and thinking Babylon's just going to take over and we're going to just be miserable? Right?
Gone.
Examine yourself, family. Don't lose hope. Keep your faith strong. It said right here, know ye not your own self, how that Christ Jesus Yahweh Shai is in you, except ye be reprobates. A reprobate, I believe, is someone that knows the truth but just doesn't regard it. And we don't want to be that person. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know, Kaniak. Do you know what a reprobate is?
Yeah, someone's basically just lost, like, not
Yeah, like uh-huh.
have it given over to a reprobate mind, meaning that, like, kind of, they just don't know what's going on. They kind
Okay. So I
of,
was kind of wrong. Yeah, yeah. The water for the clarification.
yeah, con.
Yeah, you good, you good. Let's go to the Apocrypha though. Let's go to we're gonna kind of change topics, but of course it's gonna be the same thing, of course. Let's go to Judith 10.
Con.
Let's go to Judith 10 and let's go to verse 18 and 19. The water.
Con. So Judith chapter 10 and verse 18. Then was there a concourse throughout all the camp, for her coming was noise among the tents, and they came about her, and as she stood without the tent of Holofernes, till they told him of her, and they wondered at her beauty, and admired the children of Israel because of her. And everyone said to his neighbor, who would despise this people that have among them such women? Surely it is good that one man of them be left, who being let go might deceive the whole earth.
Right. And this is just kind of like I'm kind of going into our sister's worth, right? Because we gotta get this too. We gotta let our sisters know, um, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, that y'all are beautiful sisters. The whole world knows that. We were just reading it right here. It says, and they wondered at her beauty. The other nations wonder at her beauty. Judith. So, what did I put right here? Yeah. So the whole world knows y'all beauty, sisters, and that your beauty is different from everyone else's, the other nations, right? Let's go to Second Timothy. Second Timothy chapter um is that the one I want?
What precept you looking for?
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. It's in the same thing. Let's go to Second Timothy chapter 1, verses 7 and 8. Yeah. So the reason why I brought out that Judith chapter 10 is because, sisters, I don't want y'all to feel that y'all should be ashamed of yourself. You know, be be I don't want to say prideful, but be proud. Be proud that you're an Israelite. Be proud that you're wearing your dresses and fringes. Be proud that you're dressing modestly. We can also get that in First Timothy 2 and 9. I think there was a reason why I didn't bring that out. But for the case of time, we don't have to get it. But the reason why I wanted to bring that out is to let y'all sisters know that, hey, love yourselves. Love yourselves, because everyone knows, the other nations know, and of course our nation knows that we have beautiful women in our nation, right? So yeah, can you get that Second Timothy chapter 1, verses 7 and 8, Baba Kasha?
Gone. So Second Timothy chapter 1 and verse 7. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind.
Mhm.
Be not thou therefore ashamed of the testimony of our Lord, nor of me his prisoner, but be thou partaker of the afflictions of the gospel, according to the power of God.
And right here, we hear this all the time in church, man. I did anyways, but essentially the reason why I brought this out is, don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed of what you're doing this truth. You gotta love it, right? Love what you're doing. Love that you're wearing your fringes. Love that you're telling your people not to hate each other, right?
God.
For God have given us the spirit, have not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind, right? Let's, you know, let's tap into that energy, family, because man, there's it's so easy to be negative, man. I'm talking to myself, man. I be so negative to myself, family. Y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even know behind closed doors, man. So I made this lesson for myself. Not only for the people that are listening, I made this lesson for myself, man. I'm gonna be completely honest, right? So yeah, man, like this, just being vulnerable with the family, this, bringing out the word really does bring peace, man. Having Kanye here to read for me, man, really brings me peace, man. And of
All praise
course,
God.
having the Most High in His Word, right? Let's continue though, man. Let's go back to the Book of Sirach.
God.
Let's go back to the Book of Sirach, chapter 40. It's going to be a kind of long one. From verse 1 through 11.
God.
Yeah, man, this is a good one. Now we're gonna kind of go not through a different topic, but it's gonna be something. Bring it on when you got it. Doc.
Yeah, I got it. So Sirach chapter 40 and verse 1. Great travail is created for every man, and a heavy yoke is upon the sons of Adam, from the day that they go out of their mother's womb, till the day that they return to the mother of all things. their imagination of things to come, and the day of death trouble their thoughts, and cause fear of heart. From him that sitteth on the throne of glory, unto him that is humbled in earth and ashes, from him that weareth purple and a crown, unto him that is clothed with a linen frock, wrath and envy, trouble and unquietness, fear of death, and anger, and strife, and in the time of rest upon his bed, his night sleep. Do change his knowledge. Verse 6. A little or nothing is his rest, and afterwards he is in his sleep, as in the day of keeping watch, troubled in the vision of his heart, as if he were escaped out of a battle. When all is safe, he awaketh, and marveleth that the fear was nothing. Such things happen unto all flesh,
Mm.
man and beast, and that is sevenfold more upon sinners. Death and bloodshed, strife and sword calamities, famine, tribulation, and the scourge, these things are created for the wicked, and for
Mm.
their sakes came the flood. All things that are of the earth shall turn to the earth again, and that which is of the waters doth return into the sea.
Con. Yeah.
So,
Con. That's deep because, you know, that shows the balance of life. This right here. Great travail is created for every man. Every man. And I have made a little note right here, and I'm gonna expound on it too. I said, as men, we're made for this hard life. But like the scriptures say, it'll only make it harder if we continue in sin, right? So if you love your life and want to overcome, don't sin because you're only making it harder on yourself. Because we just read right here, Kaniak just read right here. When all is safe, he awakeneth and marveleth that the fear was nothing. Such things happen unto all flesh, um, both man and beast, and that is sevenfold more upon sinners. Man, if we continue in sin, family, it's only gonna make it harder for ourselves. If we don't love ourselves, if we don't love Yahweh, it's only gonna make life harder. So check yourselves, family. Like I've been saying this whole lesson, check yourself. Please do, right? Because all these things that are happening is for the wicked, it's for the sinners. So that's just something that, when I brought this out, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good for this lesson. So all praises. Let's go down in the chapter. Matter of fact, go to verse 29.
verse 29. The life of him that dependeth on another man's table is not to be counted for a life, for
Mhm.
he polluteth himself with other men's meat. But a wise man, well nurtured, will beware thereof.
Okay, and this is kind of like a hard topic. Um, but the reason why I brought this verse out is because, um, matter of fact, I'll just read the note out. I don't want to just ramble. I said I bring this out because we shouldn't have to depend on another man's table. To love yourself, you got to understand shame. And if you don't have shame for yourself, um, oh yeah, it's like you. And if you don't have shame for yourself when you do something wrong, that needs to be fixed. Be a man and provide for yourself. So, like I just said, right? A man that doesn't love himself, a man that doesn't want to give it that doesn't want to get his life together is going to depend on another man's table, you know? It's
Con,
gonna be like, hey, brother, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know I ain't doing shit. I'm just on the game all the time. I'm just, drinking and smoking and, going out every weekend. Hey, but can you help me? Like, you know what I'm saying? I need help with this. I need help with my rent. Hey, can you please throw 100 for me, Baba Kashad? Please, man. I know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't been doing much. I've been calling off because I need to be doing these other things, but can you please just send me $100 so I can be all right? You don't want to be that guy, man. You don't want to be that guy. And if you're that guy, man, you gotta understand shame, right? Because like I said in my note, to love yourself, you gotta understand shame. And if you don't have shame for yourself when you do something wrong, then you're damn near just like, I don't know, man. It's kind of embarrassing. So reflect on yourself, family. And this is for the people that, you know, always try to, rely on another man's table. It said right here in the latter part of the verse, it said, but a wise man well nurtured will beware thereof. Meaning a man that is like well skilled in life, a man, even though if he's poor, he'll get back up. Even if he loses everything, just like Job, he'll get back up. Right. So love yourself, family. And if you love yourself, you're gonna provide everything that you need in your life, man. Through Yahweh, of course. But that's what I'm saying. Like it's that's kind of like a touchy subject because I
Um,
feel like it's case by case a lot of the times too. But yeah, that's like that's an interesting one. We're gonna go to Second Maccabees though. I'm gonna go to Second Maccabees, um, chapter 7. It's gonna be a long one too. We're gonna read Second Maccabees chapter 7 from verse 28 through 42. So 28 to the end of the chapter.
this is Second Maccabees chapter 7 and verse 28. I beseech thee, my son, look upon the heaven and the earth and all that is therein, and consider that God made them of things that were not, and so was mankind made likewise. Fear not this tormentor,
Mhm.
but being worthy of thy brethren, take thy death, that I may receive thee again in mercy with thy brethren. While she was yet speaking these words, the young man said, Whom wait ye for? I will not obey the king's commandment, but I will obey the commandment of the law that was given unto our fathers by Moses. And thou hast been the author of all mischief against the Hebrews, shall not escape the hands of God. For we suffer because of our sins. And though the living Lord be angry with us for a little while, for our chastening and correction, yet shall he be at one again with his servants. But thou, O godless man, and of all other most wicked, be not lifted up without a cause, nor puffeth up with uncertain hopes, lifting up thy hand against the servants of God. For thou hast not yet escaped the judgment of Almighty God, who seeth all things. For our brethren, who now have suffered a short pain, are dead under God's covenant of everlasting life. But thou, through the judgment of God, shalt receive just punishment for thy pride. But I, as my brethren, offer up my body and life for the laws of our fathers,
Mm.
beseeching God that he will speedily be merciful unto our nation, and that thou by torments and plagues mayest confess that he alone is God, and that in me and my brethren the wrath of the Almighty, which is justly brought upon all of our nation, may cease. Then the king, being in a rage, handled him worse than all the rest, and took it grievously that he was mocked, so that this man died undefiled, and put his whole trust in the Lord. Last of all, after the sons, the mother died. Let this be enough now to have spoken concerning the idolatrous feasts and the extreme tortures.
Man.
And it was
This
what was crazy about that, Og?
right.
my mom had read the story to me, and she was like, "Man, like the faith of the mother and her sons, like
Mhm.
it was, it's really something to covet the good gifts.
Right.
You know,
I hear you, man. This is a cold story, man. I mean, this not even a story. This is history, family.
Con,
This is what happened to our people, man. Um, and they laid their lives, man, for the Most High.
con,
They laid their life for the Most High, and you know, the reason why I bring this out is because this is the example that we have to follow as Israelites. No matter the reason, man. We gotta choose Yahweh. We gotta choose Yahweh and the laws, right?
con,
And I kind of want to reread something. Where is it at? Yeah, right here. It says, "For our brethren who now have suffered a short pain are dead under God's covenant of everlasting life. But thou through the judgment of God shall receive just punishment for thy pride." And it says right here, "But I, as my brethren, offer up my body and life, right, for the laws of our fathers." Man, that's so cold. That's so cold because I ain't gonna lie, bro. In this Hebrew Israelite community, you're not gonna see this, man. I ain't
con,
gonna lie, bro. There's so many people that, you know what I'm saying, that say that they will, but they just finna cat off, man. They just finna, you know what I'm saying, just go contrary, man. And it's sad to say that, but it's the truth. It's the truth, man. Are y'all willing to suffer your life this short? Are y'all willing to experience a short pain, but to have everlasting life?
con,
Meditate on that, family. Meditate. Reflect on that, man. Reflect on that. And I said right here in my note, he's chastising us right now for our faults, but he'll be with us again when we get right again. We know we love ourselves when we know how to love the Father. And they beautiful our ancestors beautifully showed that love to the Father by sacrificing themselves, man. Not not going into the idolatrous feast that the Grecians were trying to implement on our people. So that's just a good story to like always go back to and just reflect on. We almost done. We got like five more scriptures. Um, let's go to Deuteronomy 30 and verse 19. Bring it on when you got it.
con. So Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live.
Like how I just said, man, this is just a precept going to just what we read in Second Maccabees. You know, we gotta choose life. We got to choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live, you know, because for the last centuries, man, we've been choosing death this whole time. That's why we're going through the things that we're going through, right?
Con,
It, life hasn't been peaches and cream for the nation of Israel. And we're not talking about that nation that's in the land right now. Not them Edomites, man, that are in the land. We're talking about, like we've been talking about, bro, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. So, you know, this is also where we get the balance of the Most High. Because it said right here that I have set before you life and death, blessings, a blessing and cursing. The Most High is a balanced God, man. And we got to understand that too. We have to understand that, man. In today's terms, in today's terminology, we may call it yin and yang, but let's leave that for the heathens, man. They
Yeah.
probably got it from us, if anything, right? But let's get Ecclesiastes chapter 3. And let's get verses 1 and then skip down to verse 8 after verse 1, Baba Kasha.
You said 3 and verse 8?
Start at verse 1, and then after verse 1, just skip down to verse 8.
Come. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 1. To everything there is a season, time to every purpose under the heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 8. A time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace.
Okay. So that's pretty much it, family. There's a season for everything. There's a season for our tribulations, and there's a season for our reward, for our ruling. And right now in Babylon, this is our season for tribulation, trials and tribulations. But we are trying to seek for that reward. We're trying to seek the kingdom, right? So I just want to let y'all know that there's a balance in this, man. There's a balance. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much self-explanatory. Let's get Ecclesiastes 9 and 11. And I don't know if you can, Kanayak. You don't have to, because I got it right here. But could you get the NLT version of Ecclesiastes 9 and 11 too? But we're gonna first read the KJV first.
I'm gonna try and get it out.
You good, huh?
Want me to read the King James version first?
Yeah. Read the KJV first, Bob Kasha.
Okay. Give me 1 second now.
You good? All praises, man.
Okay, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 11. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happeneth to them all.
Khan. And the reason why I wanted to get the NLT version is because I just feel like it just words it better. But they pretty much say this. It's the same thing. But when I first read the KJV version, I had to like reread it to understand. But if you can't get the NLT, I'd much appreciate it.
Yeah, I think I got it up.
You good, all right? Ready when you got it.
9:11.
Gone. Yep.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 11, NLT version. I have observed something else under the sun. The fastest runner doesn't always win the race, and the strongest warrior doesn't always win the battle. The wise sometimes go hungry, and the skillful are not necessarily the wealthy. And those who are educated don't always lead successful lives. It is all decided by chance, by being in the right place at the right time.
And the reason why I brought this out is because sometimes we don't have control, man. We kind of just go through whatever God puts right in front of us. So we kind of just got to run with it. It says the fastest runner doesn't always win the race, and the strongest warrior doesn't always win the battle. Where do we see this example? Where do we see these examples in the Bible? Jacob and Esau. Esau was supposed to get the blessing because he was the firstborn, but Jacob got it after, right? So, sometimes things may be in line, but they might go this way or that way or to and fro, whatever the case, right? Things don't always happen like how we expect it to happen. And that's just life. That's just life, family. And that's the balance of the Most High. So let's get two more scriptures, man. Let's go to Proverbs 11:1.
Con. The book of Proverbs, chapter 11, and verse 1. A false balance is abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight.
A false balance is an abomination to the Lord. So, that's why the Most High implemented all these things, man. You know, he's the creator of everything. At the end of the day, family, he's the creator of everything. Everything you see, you know, heaven, the state of hell, good, evil, all these things, man. It's a balance. The sun, the moon, the light and the dark. We can go on and on, right? So that's the reason why. The Most High, hey, we may not understand why he did that, right? But he did it. The Bible says in Isaiah 55, his thoughts are higher than our thoughts, and his ways are higher than our ways. So, sometimes we just can't explain why he does things. He just does things, man. You know, sometimes when you're playing a video game, sometimes you want to just do side quests. You don't want to follow the main mission because, hey, I just don't want to, right? That's the Most High. So, let's get this last one, and we all know this one, but I want to get it because it's just, it's just one of them ones. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 12 and 13.
Con.
If you're a Hebrew Israelite, you know this one. But if you're, starting to get to understand the Bible, this is a real staple, in this walk, right? Read it when you got it, Doc.
Con. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
This is the whole duty of man, family, keeping the commandments. And I had wrote a note for this as well. I said, ask yourself, family, do I really fear the Father? Because honestly, you don't want to test the Father, right? So, as simple as it can get, man, we just got to keep the commandments, man. That's our whole duty, in this walk, in this world. Have faith in Yahweh Shai, of course, but keep the commandments of the Most High God. So, with that being said, family, that's the lesson. I hope y'all were edified. I hope y'all took some notes. Hope y'all learned something, and I hope y'all are reflecting, man. The Shabbat is about to start, later tonight. So I just wanted to bring something out, man, for the family, man. Like I said, I hope y'all enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe, man. And also share this, to you, to whoever you feel like needs to listen to this, man. But with that, family, I'm gonna leave it at that. Or kind of, yeah, do you have any last words, man? Do you have any words, or
I
you
guess I'm
pretty good?
gonna say, like, keep the commandments, Israel, and uh,
Right.
most high willing, can you hear me up?
Yeah, no, you had cut out, man. You all
Yeah.
good.
I was just saying, most high willing, we make it, just try to do your best, like faith and works,
Right.
go and, being
God.
like, and also show charity, show love. Fruits of the spirit have to be, evident in your everyday life.
God, man. God, always, man. Always, always, always. But with that, family, we're gonna leave you at that, man. Like I said, subscribe, man. Follow the other channels too. Believers of the Way, Believers of the Way Dallas. Um, a Shire's channel, right? All the brothers, man, that are BOW out, man. So yeah, family. We want to give all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. I want to say Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.